Okay, this is a pretty old Sears self-propelled walk behind, and what I'm working on it is for two reasons. My son-in-law's dad has a what I would call relatively new, maybe 10 years old, Sears self-propelled. Different drive mechanism. This one, he's got the easy thing, whatever that's supposed to be. But after 10 years, his deck is totally rusted out around the front. No way to repair it. And just by chance, this old mower was left at our charity dumpster. Our church has a steel dumpster, scrap metal dumpster for fundraising. And when I got looking at it, it turns out I think this deck is exactly the same as the much newer deck that's rusted out. Secondly, I want the motor. I'm making up a rig to tow behind another lawnmower to make a bigger swath. I used to pull the two lawnmowers on their wheels, but that's hard on the wheels, so I'm making my sort of a tow behind with two push mower engines on it. And this engine was a good candidate. It's a 6 horsepower. So anyway, took the carb off. I didn't think I was going to be able to salvage the carb. The pin, you should have seen the rust on the pin of the float. But I actually got it all cleaned out with my ultrasonic cleaner and carb cleaner and air. Got it to be looking like it was going to run all right. Put a new primer bulb on. I was a bit confused because the carb number goes to another carb that takes the stepped primer bulb according to the parts manual, without the hole. And the one in it had the hole. Don't know why some have the hole. Didn't really get an answer on Google. So anyway, got it all ready to go. She wouldn't start unless I put carb cleaner, sprayed carb cleaner in it. She starts up, she runs pretty good. So I was a bit puzzled by that. Everything looked okay. So I went back to Google. Anyway, eventually I found it, and it was a 12-year-old thread where someone else had some other issues, but just a little note at the bottom reminding that the passages, the air passages to the primer bulb and the float bowl, they're actually open to the hole that the bolt goes in. I think it's the outer bolt for the air cleaner housing. And I never put the air cleaner housing back on. I couldn't get it to prime, but carb cleaner, she fired right up. This morning I put the air cleaner housing on, pushed the bulb 3 or 4 times, and she fired right up. So if you ever have that issue with it not priming, I know it's the same with the some of the Briggs, I guess it's Pulsajet carbs, the ones that are sitting on top of the gas tank, that if you don't have the air cleaner bolt down in the hole, sometimes they won't run right, because that hole normally has access to something that it shouldn't have if the bolt's out. So just keep that in mind.